Hey everyone, welcome back to this channel. So this is the second part of the HD3 and VSA setup video, and in this video I'm going to show you what you can do with the HD3 when you couple with the VSA software. So let me show you how the hardware setup looks like.
So this is the hardware setup that I have right now. As you can see, I have a signal generator, 2 ports. So the first port is connected to the antenna up there, just to transmit to multiple instruments. Because unfortunately, I do not have any splitter that one to multiple output. So this is the best setup that I can think of right now. And this is a room in the middle of nowhere, so it's all shielded up properly. The other one is the directional antenna, so I'm pointing it to here. This is for another testing that I have in mind for the subsequent video. We have a signal generator here, and we have an oscilloscope multi-port. This is a HD3, so as you can see I'm using port 1, port 3 and port 4. And then back here we have one field box. So as you can see, it's running on VSA software. That's why the screen is a bit different from what you know. So we have a transmitter antenna here, receiver antenna from the field box, and there's one antenna plugged into the port 1. This is meant for another test I plan to do. And so we have one USB power sensor connected to field box, and for this test I'm not using the power sensor. And the last one would be the antenna connecting to a EXA. So this is just to show you the different measurements that can be done using the VSA for multiple instruments measurements.
So before we proceed, let's preset this. This is the setup that I just made, and let's go to preset. So we're going straight to the hardware setup. So in the previous video, we already set up the HD3 to be part of the VSA software selections. So let's go straight there. Utilities hardware HD3. So if you remember in the walkthrough on the hardware setup, there are 3 antennas connected to HD3, which is port 1, port 3 and port 4. So let's go into the input setup. Let's go to input, channels and custom. So channel 1 as normal, and we are using channel 3 to do that, and this is connected to channel 2 of the measurement group 1. Let's click apply. So I have this MXG setup with a 16 QAM 40 meg bandwidth signal, and I'm going to transmit at 515 MHz and 400 MHz. So channel 1 is connected to a dipole, channel 2 is connected to a directional antenna. So you're going to see a different power level in these 2 channels, because one is facing the antenna of the receiver, the other one is not. So once the setup is done, I'm going to turn on the power just to set up the fundamental signal. As you can see, there are 2 signals here. This is the 400 meg, this is a 515 meg signal. We know that signal is there. The antenna is picking up things, which is good. So what we're going to do is to set up the digital demode. So let's go to multi-purpose, general purpose, and let's go there. I'm going to set up 3x2, so at least we can see the spectrum and focus on the spectrum. And this really focus on how to set up the VSA according to what type of input, what type of signal that we're trying to deal with. So these are in measurement 1. Let's change channel 1 to 515. Channel 1 515, yes. So double click on that, 515. Let's change the span to, because it's a 40 meg bandwidth signal, let's change it to 40 meg. And you see that once we change this, in measurement 1, the span is actually coupled. So if you change in channel 1, it will reflect on channel 2 also, that 52. So one of the reasons we are not seeing enough points here is because of that setup on the digital demode. Let's go to measurement setup, digital demode property. So we're saying that the symbol rate is 500 meg across the whole bandwidth, and it's not reflecting here because it expects to be a 500 meg bandwidth, and we are just using 52 meg. Let's lessen it to, this is what because that's what we are transmitting, and we select it. 16 gram signal. So this is 515 and this is 400. So you see that there's some signal activity here, but it's not optimized. So the next thing that you can do is over here, perform an auto range for both, and you should turn on the preamp and whatnot, just to make sure that the signal is much better. So this is for channel 2, and both are not really getting a good reading. Chances are because of this thing. So instead of using channel 3, I will select channel 4 for the 400 meg and channel 3 for the 500 meg. This is what I did just now because I noticed that the antenna is closer to each other on that path. And let's try again, the range. And the other things we can do is over here. It's a 20 meg bandwidth signal instead of 40 meg bandwidth signal. So channel 2 is still not optimized, but I can change that. Okay, let's increase the power level on channel 2. Okay, it's getting a bit better. Let's try again. So I might want to change the channel. Channel 3. Channel 2 is. Let's change this here. Instead of using that directional antenna on the HD3, I'll just use a dipole from channel 1. So again, all this essentially depends on your setup. So I'm just showing you that you're able to utilize multi-ports on the scope to do different band measurements. And this is a bit tricky to see. Let me change the format. So you can actually change. Currently it's IQ, so it shows on the line that the point transfer from one point to another. So if you want a cleaner view, then just change your constellations. I'm going to go to B and change the format to constellation. So it's a bit more focused, and you can see that channel 1 is 3.9% EVM, channel 2 7.2. So it all depends on the power level, the type of antennas. So you can see that this is a physical layer power measurement. This is a quick guide setup to show you that you can use multi-port scopes to act as a receiver, and VSA software able to control that overall. In the next video, I'm going to share with you some of the findings while I'm setting up this, what we can do and what we can't do with the VSA with multi-port scope. Not just limited to HD3, it can be a EXR, MXR, or even UXR. And there are some limitations on that. I hope it's just a temporary limitations. Hopefully Keysight will be able to add in the future. But anyway, hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.